Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another installment of the Bald Chef Burger Mo. Today we're making focaccia. I know I already have a recipe. I'm making a different one. This one's a little faster, maybe a little turbo, and I'm changing the hydration. So I'm putting more water to the flour ratio, just to kind of get it a little more bubbly and float a little bit, a little softer, fluffier in its finished product. Couple things to note, by doing that, it's going to be very sticky, so we're going to have to use a folding technique, kind of like we use with a ciabatta bread. This is easy. Now I'm doing the turbo style, meaning I'm going to do it over a few hours versus overnight. You can still do the overnight method with the Vigo or the Polish, the pre-ferment, right? Just it's all about the hydration, so the water to flour ratio here. And we'll get at it. Just let you know that my daughter will be finishing this up. That's how easy it is. She's going to finish it up and keep it on in the oven for me when I take my son to a soccer game. So let's get at it. So for this focaccia, we're doing like a turbo method, meaning that I got to get this done in a few hours versus an overnight prep, a biga, a pre-ferment or a Polish type of preparation. So I'm going to have to use more yeast. So I've got 470 grams of warm water. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of yeast. I'm going to put a teaspoon of sugar. And I'm going to put kind of a couple tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to mix this up. Get the sugar out. And the sugar is just to get this thing alive and active, because we're going to have to do this quickly over a few hours. But I want to make sure that gets mixed. So let me add the sugar in a second, and then we'll wait for it to come up, and then we'll add the flour to this. Okay, so I'm starting to get a little bit of that yeast starting to come alive, which is good. And so I've got measured out 560 grams of flour, and I've got 2 teaspoons of salt. I have a teaspoon of garlic powder. I like to put garlic powder in this. I have a teaspoon of rosemary. And I'm going to mix this up, make sure we get the dry ingredients kind of mixed in, because this is going to be a very sticky dough, and we're not using a mixer, and I'm not going to be able to mix this with my hands very much, so I cannot add the dry ingredients separately, because they won't get incorporated properly. And that should be fine. A little mess there. That's all right. All right, that seems like it's good. So I'm gonna add another maybe 1/4 cup of olive oil. So it's probably a little bit more than a 1/4 cup total from the beginning of this. Whoops. And I'm gonna turn around and add all the dry ingredients in, like that. And then I'm going to just start mixing with my little spatula here. And as you can see, this is going to be very sticky. The intent is for us to do an additional mixing, like folding of the dough, kind of like I've done for ciabatta or other type of breads. And we'll do that after 30 minutes. I'm going to make sure this gets mixed up nice and well. I'll show you kind of what it looks like, how sticky it is. Now you really can't mix it by hand. And then we'll let it rest for 30 minutes. So just look how sticky this is. It kind of sticks to the spatula. So if I were just to try to mix this by hand, it would get all over my hands and whatnot. So this is kind of the consistency we're looking for. And then we'll cover it, let it rest for 30 minutes, and then we're going to start the folding process. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. I'm going to fill a little bowl with water to get my hands really moist and wet. And then I'm going to start the folding process. So you're going to reach down, pull up like this, and fold over. Turn it, with your hands again if you need to. Go like 90 degrees, turn and fold. So because we didn't have a mixer and because we're not kneading this as like a no-knead bread type of thing, whoops, I stressed it too much. So that was a little too tight. I shouldn't have done it that tight. It's okay. Won't ruin anything. But we need to form gluten because we're not using the kinetic mixing of a mixer or kneading. So you need to do these folds to stretch. And as you see, sometimes they don't stretch very well at the beginning. That's fine. That's what it's supposed to do. As you get more and more, let's say after a couple of these folds, you'll see it'll stretch nicely. So we'll do a couple more. Fold it over. Like that. All right, so I did my folds. I'm gonna cover it and come back in a half hour. And we'll do the folds again. Okay, time for another fold. It's been another 30 minutes. With the hands as always. You can see it continues to rise. It can stretch a lot more than before. Just folding over. Like that. I'm going to do a couple more. Stretches like this, folds, and then we'll cover it, and then we'll do another 30 minutes and do the final fold. Okay, see you in 30 minutes. Okay, it's been another half hour. Do the same thing, another set or series of folds. You can see the dough is rising, so that yeast is taking off. Rotate. This is a little easier. Stretch it. And we'll continue like this. And we're going to do the same thing. Maybe I'll do one more fold just for old time's sake here. There we go. That. And we'll cover it with the wrap. And then wait another 30 minutes, do another fold. Okay. Then over 30 minutes, the stuff is nice and jiggly. So now we're gonna start, take a non-stick pan. I got an old pan here, but I've got this nice little
oil
silica pad here, which I love because it's good non-stick, it's reusable, works well with all different types of things. Even if you're roasting vegetables or whatnot, it does well. So I'm just kind of spreading the olive oil around here because we're gonna let this sit there for a bit. And Michelangelo woke up. What do you want to say, Mickey? Anything good this morning? Sei pronto a giocare calcio?
This is an English shot.
Oh, it's an English shot? Okay. You don't want to say anything?
Maybe.
Maybe? Alright. So I'm going to take this. My hands are a little, make sure they got a little bit of olive. I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw it into here. Maybe, Mickey, you want to come help me? Here, you hold the camera. You hold the camera for me. Okay? You see it? I'm going to do this. I'm going to lay it in there.
Oh, that nice chunky dough.
All that nice chunky dough. We're going to make focaccia. And then we kind of like spread it out. Make sure I get my hands a little mixed in with some of that olive oil. Kind of spread out that dough a little bit. And then I'm going to let it rest for another 30 to 40 minutes or whatnot. And then we'll start to get the thing ready. Okay? All right, we'll check back in about 30 to 40 minutes, okay? Thanks. Okay, so it's been, I don't know, 40 minutes. I put the last coating of olive oil on it.
So much oil. So much olive oil.
So much olive oil. Tanto olio di oliva, tanti.
This is an English show again.
And then we're gonna do jiggle, 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 wiggle, wiggle. Nice little indentations here. And we're gonna kind of make sure we get it all spread out. And you can see how nice it is, etc. I put a little bit of oil on the sides here so it doesn't stick.
Oil.
More oil. I'm just gonna spread it out, Mickey. If it sticks a little bit, it's okay. Because we have the silicone underneath.
You can't make focaccia if you don't use too much oil.
That's right, Mickey. So that's what you think. Any comment?
No comment.
No comment. A woman of few words. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle a little rosemary on top. Rosmarino. Rosmarino così, così, tutto quanto.
This is an English show.
It's an English show. You never know, there may be somebody in Italy watching. Some coarse salt.
I have a question. Will
Yeah.
fine salt work as well?
Fine salt, well, salt to salt. The problem with fine salt is it spreads out too much and then everything just gets over salty.
You hear that, people? Use coarse salt.
Because then you get a little bite with it instead of every single chew.
A little over here.
All right, a little bit more over there, you say? All right, how about that? Now, you could put some olives in there. You could put some fried onions. I like some fried onions. You could put sun-dried tomatoes in there. But we have some guests coming over for my wife's Italian class, so we're going to do a little bit of just something simple and easy. So, as you can see, I got plenty of oil on this, and it's starting to bubble up a little bit. I've got the oven on at 400 degrees. And once it comes to temperature, I'm going to throw this in the oven for 20 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes, rotate another 10 minutes, and we'll see if it's done. Okay? Let's get at it.
Hey guys, we're back. We did 10 minutes on each side of the focaccia, and now look at it. I mean, look at these beautiful air bubbles. My dad's currently at my brother's soccer game, but this is so easy, even a young woman like me can pull it off. Hope you enjoy the focaccia.
Buon chef of Bergamo.
Good eats, hot treats.